field, the 12th man embodies the spirit at Texas A&M. The Corps of Cadets and students and fans make the pilgrimage inside at the stroke of midnight for yell practice. 30,000 strong make their way into the stadium, and they get into precise maximum volume position, assuming that position and knowing all of the yells. They yell to support their dear old Texas Aggies, but as game day starts to unwind, the tailgating is perfect, and they don't play the Longhorns on Thanksgiving anymore, so they replaced beef with a little alligator, with LSU coming to call. The Bayou Bengal faithful, they made themselves right at home in College Station, serving up a little crawfish etouffee. No matter what your taste, one thing is most palatable to everyone wearing maroon. Kevin Sumlin leading the Spirit Walk. They want to beat LSU, something that hasn't happened since the Aggies joined the SEC, and an opportunity to do so tonight. The Fightin' Texas Aggie Band will play the hymns that you know so well, and the Corps will be in full support. And Samantha Ponder is down in the midst of it, where the traditions and the yells are always perfect.
Howdy, Reese. I think that's the only acceptable greeting from this section here. I am hanging out in the best place you can be on a tradition-rich day like today, and that, of course, is in this section with the Corps of Cadets here at Texas A&M. They take their traditions very seriously here. They're called the Keepers of the Spirit, and that includes a lot of things, starting with standing the entire game, getting coordinated yells from their yell leaders, of course, kisses after every score, and the prettiest mascot in the sport. That would be Reveille, or Miss Rev, as they call her here, and tonight will be her last game here in College Station as she is retiring. She's the highest-ranking member of the Cadets. No doubt the Aggies want to win one for her tonight, Reese.
And Sam, with that title, the highest ranking member of the Corps, Miss Rev leads a group of 17 seniors who will play for the final time here at Kyle Field. A lot of tradition here, a lot of wins for this senior class. 3 times they've gone on the road and beaten an AP top 10 opponent. They have won their last 3 bowl games. No senior class has ever won 4. But the thing they want to do tonight is to be able to beat LSU in their final homestand. This is the SEC on ESPN. A couple of 7-4 teams trying to finish the season on a high note. Texas A&M wins the toss. They will receive as Les Miles comes in trying to avoid the first 3-game losing streak he's had as the head coach at LSU. Bayou Bengals teeing it up. Trent Domingue will put toe to leather, and Speedy Noyle, the freshman from New Orleans, Louisiana, will be one of the deep men to receive for Texas A&M. Glad to have you with us on Thanksgiving night. Enjoy the leftovers, and we've got some SEC action underway from College Station. Domingue boots it out of the back of the end zone, and Texas A&M will start on its 25-yard line. Speedy mixing it up already with some LSU players. Aggies a game under 500 in the SEC. They got trounced by Alabama, but a second trip to the state of Alabama produced the Aggies' biggest win of the year, a 41-38 victory over then number 3 Auburn. The defense has been problematic, but there are plenty of offensive stars. And one defensive star you'll see in Myles Garrett, a tremendous young pass rusher. And the quarterback is the freshman Kyle Allen. Brandon Williams in the backfield. He's swinging out. And they'll swing it to Williams. He's got the perimeter against this salty LSU defense, and Quan Alexander was there to blast him. A little help from Ronald Martin.
Yeah, Texas A&M could do a very good job playing at tempo, getting the football out in space. Playmakers like Brandon Williams does a great job catching the ball out of the backfield.
So much talk about having success on first down in tempo, and 9 on first down is good. Allen throwing for the sideline, overshoots Josh Reynolds. 3rd and 1 coming.
And this is an A&M team that always has success early. Kevin Sumlin's one of the best coaches in the country in offense. And you see right there, scored a touchdown on 6 of the first drives in 11 games this season. No matter who's been a quarterback and no matter all through the years with Kevin Sumlin, offense is never a problem.
This is something interesting Texas A&M does now. They bring in their backup center, Ben Compton, who's 300 pounds. They like to play him at fullback right now. They got him lined up top here as an extra tight end. Going big bodies here, anticipating run.
Brandon Williams looking for a little seam, and he finds it. It's a first down for the Aggies. And how did Compton get his job done, Jesse?
Yeah, he does it oftentimes out of the backfield. Here he just lines up outside. He's one-on-one with Daniil Hunter. Does a great job getting push outside, creating a hole for the back.
Yeah, you don't see tight ends block like that.
Hence the decision to put him in there. It's tough enough to get Daniil Hunter out of the way. Allen, quick pass, first catch of the night from Malcolm Kennedy, and not much going as a whole host of IU Bengals were there.
LSU's got to be careful now. Texas A&M, they're going to throw those swing passes to the running backs, those quick screens to the wide receivers, and eventually they're going to pump it, and they're going to try to hit a deep shot behind it. So LSU has got to play with good eye discipline here in the secondary.
Trey Carson is checked in at running back. Compton's back in there. He's going out for a pass, but they don't throw it to him. They throw it to Carson instead, and Kendall Beckwith hit him first. Jamaria Rasco was there to help.
You talked about the quick game, the tempo. Another thing they do is screens. They run a lot of screens, and LSU better be ready for that in this ball game. That's where they make a lot of big plays in this offense. It's an extension of the running game, the easy passes. You've seen a lot of easy shots for Kyle Allen so far to try to get him in a rhythm. Now he's going to have to make a play on 3rd and 10.
3rd and 10 against a defense ranked in the top 15 in the country in total yards. Aggies have been middle of the pack in terms of 3rd down conversions. Allen, good protection, taking a shot to the outside. Speedy Noyle was the intended receiver, and Tre'Davious White was all over him, and the punt team comes on for the Aggies. LSU defense, see the ranks, been very good against the pass. 6th in the country, allowing 164 yards per game. Been terrific in scoring defense. Offense has been the issue for the Tigers. Tre'Davious White, who was on the coverage a moment ago against Speedy Noyle, is the deep man to receive, and he's clearing everybody out of the way of the short punt. And one Tiger was completely unaware that the ball was chasing him. Did not hit him, and so LSU will have it first on its own 23-yard line. LSU also 7-4, 3-4 in the SEC, just as Texas A&M is. Their big win, a late 4th quarter drive to beat Ole Miss in their heartbreaker, allowing a late 4th quarter drive to Alabama to force overtime. Crimson Tide eventually won it in the extra period, 20-13. Leonard Fournette, one of the brightest freshman stars in the country, has been their leading rusher, but you'll see a bevy of running backs tonight. But you see Fournette first against this Aggie defense. Has had trouble stopping the run. Fournette gets a good gain on 1st down. Anthony Jennings has taken his share of criticism at the quarterback position.
And you're going to see plenty of run. That's what they do. They're a power running team, but he's got to be able to facilitate some play action, take advantage of loaded boxes, make some big plays, man. This is a team that's running to 8, 9-man fronts consistently. If he can get some guys out of that box, this LSU offense is going to be hard to stop.
And David, he took ownership of the problems they've had in the passing game, saying the problem with the passing game is primarily him. How much will they trust him tonight? Jennings, a read option, keeps it, runs through a tackler. Jennings has the 1st down, and he's up to the 40-yard line.
Well, Texas A&M knows there's no mystery, and they know LSU is going to run the football. So as David just said, they are stacking the box. Look at all of the defenders in this area. And it's a simple zone read concept. The outside end, Myles Garrett crashes down, which dictates that Jennings to keep the football, get outside, and shows he can make plays with his legs.
And that's what he does best right now. He's still a sophomore, he's still growing, but he can run. He's another running back in the backfield for them.
Terrence McGee is checked in at running back. Aggies got a load of him last year when he went for 149 yards. Jennings with his first pass. It is a terrific grab by Traven Durrell. Durrell typically a big play guy, but short grab there. Here's what I mentioned that Jennings said with the LSU passing game issues, taking responsibility on himself.
And I give him respect for that because it has not all been his fault. Pass protection has been very poor the last several games. There's been drops at wide receiver. It's not all on the quarterback, of course. He is the lightning rod in this program. He has to play well tonight.
The receivers are young, but very talented on the ground and lowering the pads. Terrence McGee.
And if you turn on the tape to Jesse's point last week in Arkansas, he didn't have time to set his feet. I mean, you're talking about bodies flying in left and right. So I agree, it's not all on him. He needs to make more plays, and he's going to find number 83 as much as he can tonight. But the better he plays, this offense is unstoppable. I mean, because they're going to run it against anybody. You saw it against Alabama even having success.
This kind of third and short situation, guys, yeah, they like these quarterback snakes.
And Jennings pushes ahead, and he easily gets the first down and gets the football into Texas A&M territory. Unless Myles has made some changes on the offensive line. Now, a lot of that has been due to injury. The normal center, Elliott Porter's out with an ankle injury, so the right guard, Ethan Posick, has moved to the middle with Evan Washington stepping in as the starting right guard. Lyle Collins is a terrific force at left tackle, opting to come back for his senior year, and has been a productive one. He could be a first-round draft pick. Todd McShay has him the number 3 offensive tackle available in next year's draft. On the slant, and it's picked off. Devontae Harris stepped in and grabbed it, and more issues for the LSU passing game.
When I was watching this live, guys, I couldn't tell if Traven Durrell potentially quit on the route. It's a slant. I think Devontae Harris just had tremendous coverage. He was able to beat the receiver to the ball.
Great job jamming. And how about that? He caught it with one hand. It looks like he wanted the football more and saw it faster. Makes a great play. Much needed play for this A&M defense.
Only 5 interceptions this season for the Aggies. That's the first one for the junior Devontae Harris. So great field position now for Texas A&M, and they'll keep it on the ground with Trey Carson. And Carson gets down to the 45, pickup of about 4.
There was an example there of Ben Compton, the backup center, lining up at fullback. You know, ever since they got beat 59-0 against Bama, they've made the decision to be more physical. Their last 4 games now, they're running it a lot more often.
Run it again. Compton was still in there. Carson picks up about 3. Going to be about 3 short of the first down.
And you know what else it does, Jesse? I think it makes it easier for Kyle Allen, because now you get to run the football. You get more running looks. You get more play action. You get more windows. Instead of being a team that there is no threat of pass, now you have some easier passes to complete. I think it helps him.
After the turnover, Aggies need to convert here on 3rd down, though on the edge of field goal range at this point in the season. You wonder if they're not going to have to go 4 down. They're going to go touchdown. Trey Williams gets the Aggies on the board.
Guess who? Ben Compton again lined up right here, going mano-a-mano with Quan Alexander. Daniel Hunter just off the edge, getting that sealed again. A hole there for Trey Williams right up the gut, establishing the run early. They continue having success like this, guys. The way they throw the ball, Texas A&M being balanced, that's going to be a problem for LSU.
6th rushing touchdown of the year for the junior from Spring, Texas, and the Aggies take the turnover and come up with a touchdown out of it. It was set up by Devontae Harris, just beating Durrell to the spot, physical with him, a one-handed grab. And from there, the Aggies' running game does it with Trey Williams paying it off with a 41-yard touchdown. More than 100,000 in the house at Kyle Field, and happy with the start as Texas A&M grabbed a turnover, a rare interception, turned it into a touchdown. Now the Aggies have jumped on top of LSU, the only team in the SEC West that Texas A&M has not defeated. Glad you're spending your Thanksgiving night with us, and what a way to do it in the SEC and one of the great venues for college football in College Station. Fournette inside the end zone had a notion, but changed his mind. Tigers will take it at the 25. So LSU has maintained much of that balance that they hope to get coming into this game. They've run the ball 8 times, tried to pass it 9, and almost 100 yards of offense. The last outing against Arkansas only had 123. Jennings out in the flat, puts it right on the numbers to Connor Neighbors, who's cut down by Devontae Harris.
And those are a lot of the throws that Anthony Jennings has missed this year, the easy ones that, that David Pollock was talking about a little bit earlier. That time, again, another throw on first down off of play action, kind of trending away from what they've been doing really the second half of the season, running the football on first down, trying to keep Texas A&M off balance, and there's an accurate throw and a lot of positive yardage to start this drive.
Jet sweep look. Instead, they'll give it to Fournette. And the freshman barrels his way up for a first down.
And I'm interested to see how Leonard Fournette responds to. I didn't think he had his best game. He didn't have his best game against Arkansas their last time out. Didn't run with the same power and conviction after getting rocked a couple times in the LSU game. He's got all the talent in the world, and he squares those shoulders and gets downhill. Just want to see how he responds in this A&M game.
LSU people said that Fournette was not necessarily injured, but he took a big hit running the ball against Landon Collins of Alabama, then on the kickoff at the end of regulation from Reuben Foster. Good hole opened up by the LSU offensive line for Fournette, and he gets much of the yardage back, lost on the penalty.
That's one thing we're going to keep seeing, guys. Where LSU's had their success when they run, it's to the left side, behind Lyle Collins and Vidal Alexander.
Beef.
Yeah, a lot of big bodies. Those are 2 guys that are going to play on Sundays. Getting a great run right there. There you see Vidal Alexander back in the starting lineup. He missed a game against Arkansas with a hand injury.
A quarter in the books. From College Station, Kyle Field, glad you are spending Thanksgiving night with us. LSU and Texas A&M, a hard-fought one. Aggies get a touchdown in the first quarter, up 7-0. Thanksgiving night in College Station, starting the second quarter. Texas A&M on top of LSU, 7-0. Anthony Jennings flips it underneath to McGee, and McGee is spun down after a pickup of 4, maybe 5. These two teams have had a pretty tough road in the SEC West. Alabama, if it wins, it goes to the conference championship game, and Alabama lost to Auburn, and the Mississippi State victory over Ole Miss would send the Bulldogs. All 7 teams in this division bowl eligible. And Arkansas, which just recently snapped a 17-game conference losing streak, is hitting people in the mouth and might be as hot as anybody in the division. The officials digging deep in the record book, or the rule book, and getting it straightened out. And on third down, Anthony Jennings fires in another catch for Diaz, and it's a first down. He put a seed right on it.
He did, but he got a lot of help from the wide receiver too. And we've talked about how these receivers have dropped some of these types of throws. That time, John Diaz kind of running a quick slant over the middle of the field, ball thrown a little bit behind him, reaches back, makes a beautiful catch in traffic.
We'll say he was trying to protect him a little bit.
Okay.
I don't want to lead him into that.
Hey, that's not a quarterback. Go ahead, absolutely. I love it.
LSU with his 8th first down, but it's yet to turn into points. Field is Jennings. It's into Texas A&M territory on the option.
LSU's having success running it, guys, and this offensive line's playing well, and that's key. They should have a chip on their shoulder. This was supposed to be the strength of the team all year on offense. They were bad against Alabama, averaged only 3 yards a carry. They were bad against Arkansas, averaged 1 yard a carry. Pass protection's been bad. They're dinged up. Their starting center, Elliott Porter, out with an ankle injury. You see number 75, Evan Washington. He's now in the lineup. It's no excuse. These guys have taken over. 114 rushing yards already in this game for LSU. I'd keep running.
Fly sweep Durrell again. Good cut block. Let's Durrell turn the corner. He's inside the 30 and finally taken down by Howard Matthews.
More jet sweeps. This is an added wrinkle to this offense, and you've got to have great blocking on the perimeter. So receivers downfield getting a piece of guys. And that's a tight end, Travis Dixon, 41, going out into the slot, getting a defender on the ground and giving Durrell the edge.
And now LSU gets to play the game they want to play. They've already got 34 plays, already doubled A&M up on plays already. Ground and pound, wear you out. you start to see those holes open up even more because defense is getting worn out.
Fournette. Down to the 22. And Myles Garrett noted as a pass rusher. This is how they've handled him in the run game.
Yeah, they're going right after him. They know he's a good pass rusher. But let's find out when you put your big boy pads how it feels to face off against the first-round pick and Lyle Collins. Then they get the quarterback run game going. Right now, this is not his kind of party, David.
No, I mean, you get him in a phone booth, you go after him. He's been rushing the passer great, but Collins also giving him a welcome to the SEC moment. A little too much, but showing the young pup how it's done.
A baptism. Fournette into the secondary. Runs over a man. Leonard Fournette, touchdown. Put him on the hook, Leonard. 22 yards.
All I can think about is Herschel Walker on that Tennessee run right there. How about that?
And it was Howard Matthews who he ran over. And Howard Matthews brings the heat from the secondary level. But Leonard Fournette on that run, guys, watch the vision. This is supposed to go to the right side. He cuts it back. Business decision. And runs like that have defenses. They go to the sidelines. And if you're number 31, you're anybody in the secondary the remainder of this game, you don't want to get on the hood.
Nope.
And if you're going to invoke the Herschel Walker running over Bill Bates as a freshman, maybe I ought to borrow from the legendary Larry Munson and say, my gosh, he's a freshman. Leonard Fournette. LSU has its first touchdown since the first quarter of the Alabama game. It's a SportsCenter top 10 nominee for number 7, and we're locked up at 7. Bug meet windshield. Leonard's in the house. Speeding oil. That's the kickoff, and a couple of guys in purple and gold wrap him up. LSU has dominated time of possession, tie game at 7, looking for a little running room and not finding it is Brandon Williams.
There's Jamal Adams again with sensational true freshman safety, and this is why we talk about, again, you know, you've got cover corners that shut people down. You've got safeties with range that can line up in the slot and cover guys that can play downhill and stop the run. It's been as good a unit as you see in the country.
Williams again. Pickup of a couple. Kendall Beckwith on the stop.
And then this night's going to get a lot longer if you can't run into a 5-man box. I mean, there's not a lot of bodies near the line of scrimmage. Look how spread out it is. I mean, this is just 4 guys up front, making sure they don't get moved around. And they better start winning that line of scrimmage.
Allen, pump, wanting to take a deep shot. Gets away from Beckwith. Allen now firing it back into the middle, and it was broken up. Jalen Collins got a hand on it.
We talked about how they had thrown some screens earlier and they were going to set up the pump and try and take a shot over top of it. And this is what they do right here. You're going to see in the all-22, fake handoff, you fake the screen out wide, but LSU secondary is back deep. There's nobody open here, down here. So it becomes a scramble drill. Kyle Allen tries to put this where he needs to, but Collins just too good. Another example of strong secondary play.
And Kendall Beckwith got in there in a hurry and ran over Brandon Williams, and one of the reasons why Kyle Allen had to leave the pocket. He's been a lifesaver for this defense this season.
Kyle Allen and the Texas A&M offense been scuffling the last 3 times they've had it. 3 and out. LSU tied the game at 7 on a Leonard Fournette touchdown the last time they had it. Tigers about to get it back.
We talked about how tempo is something that Texas A&M wants to take advantage of. It's hard to do that when you've only run 18 total plays. Right now, it's the A&M defense that's exhausted because they've been on the field and they've been getting the football run down their throats.
LSU has run that many plays in Aggie territory. 12th man Sam Miller down the punt. LSU has dominated this game statistically, more than 200 yards of offense, but they have the turnover and not been able to get the lead, despite the fact that after this snap they will have doubled the number of offensive plays the Aggies have had. Anthony Jennings keeping it, and this time the Aggies a little bit more prepared for the quarterback run, and they chase number 10 out of bounds.
And A&M, I don't understand why they're shifting so much. I mean, that's just a simple tight end trade. They got guys that they want to have in certain spots. A lot of times it's catching yourself off guard by trying to do that, and you can tell, it's apparent. They want Myles Garrett away from the tight end, so he's not taking on that physical tight end and tackle at the same time.
Fournette, the 36-yard line. He'd be a little bit short of the first down.
And David, it's been a smart game plan for LSU because they're eliminating Myles Garrett. They're either running right at him or they're not blocking him and reading him on zone reads. Blocking him with different guys, they're running right at him. They're not going to let him be a factor in this game as a pass rusher. They keep having success like this, toting the rock.
Pass rushing is his specialty. They saw the 11 sacks. That's a record for SEC freshman. 3rd and short, Fournette. Fournette plows through a couple more guys, and he has the first down, fresh set of downs. Clock will stop long enough to move the chains. Our athletic trivia question. Garrett holds the SEC freshman record with 11 sacks. Who holds the SEC record for most career sacks? Hashtag athletic trivia.
Was that just broken? Like maybe 2 years ago?
Nope.
Huh.
Nope. I could give you a hint. I'll consider doing that depending on how long we wait until we give the answer. Jennings looking for an answer in the passing game, throwing it out for Malachi Dupree. Devontae Harris on the coverage, 2nd and 10 coming.
Devontae Harris has been all over whoever he's been covering. Of course, he had the pick earlier on Traven Durrell on the slant. This one on the deep post, man-to-man coverage, and it's clean. There's no contact. He's got his head up, trying to locate the football. I've been really impressed. This has been a secondary that's been attacked deep. A lot of teams have been taking shots and completing those shots. It hasn't been easy sledding so far for LSU.
Dupree, another one of those talented young receivers. That's what he does best right now, get deep down the field. Quarterback keeps it. Jennings into the open field. Jennings inside the 30 before he's finally dragged down by Armani Watson. LSU is dominating and threatening to take the lead.
And you talked about the different ways of going at Myles Garrett, and that's what they do. Again, they run the zone read, and this is just great offense. Watch what they do. I mean, he's up top of the screen. Collins washes him down, takes him right out of the play, makes it easy to get the edge. You got to do better than that. I mean, he just comes right inside. His gap's on the outside. He's got to do a better job.
Career long run for Jennings at 36 yards, and he wants more. He's going for a 100-yard rushing night in the first half and getting closer to that before DeShazier Everett pushes him out of bounds.
And it's the exact same play. I mean, going right at Myles Garrett again with the first-round pick up here, number 7. Check it out. Just get him slammed down inside. Just number 15 needs to be better at the point of attack. But again, this is not his kind of ball game just yet. Only a true freshman. This will be a good lesson for him when he goes back in the offseason. 217 rushing yards already for LSU.
And 94 of them coming from Anthony Jennings. Under a minute and a half to go. LSU threatening again on the ground, and a big hole over the right side, and Terrence McGee just got tripped up, or he might have scored.
And it's physical football, guys. It's not just this offensive line, and it's not just these big backs, but how about the fullbacks? Look at 43 right here. Connor Neighbors, mano-a-mano with Justin Bass. Just, you know, every which way and every level of the running game, LSU just asserting itself.
Have you ever seen a 2-minute drill with all runs this fast? I mean, they're moving right up and down the field at will.
McGee looking to bounce to the outside, and the Aggies stop him this time, and now LSU has 1 timeout remaining.
And remember, LSU is going to get the ball first in the second half. So the ideal situation here, obviously, scoring a touchdown with no time left on the clock, taking a 14-7 lead into halftime, getting the ball back right away.
And Les did take that timeout with a 3rd and 4 coming just over a half minute in the first half. And since then, he's been getting rocked in the running game. 3rd and 4. For LSU, 39 seconds to play in the first half. LSU's out of timeouts. Darrell Williams in the backfield. Jennings throwing to a wide open man. Touchdown LSU. John Diaz has it, but there is a flag down.
There is no foul for offensive pass interference. The contact was by the defense. The touchdown is good.
You'll see this again. Traven Durrell is going to line up outside. This is a rub play, David, to beat man-to-man coverage specifically. He's just going to kind of run in here and try and get in the way of a Texas A&M defender. It's all in the way you sell it. You can't extend your hands. It has to look like you're running a route. And as a former quarterback, I will tell you that was very well executed.
How about Jennings, too, though? That was a great job because he wanted Dupree on the right side. Did a great job working across, buying some time, finding the wide open receiver after he got picked, or he picked for his player.
You know, the receiver did a good job of that, not only selling it, but not extending his hands when Devontae Burns came in and initiated the contact. And that's why the penalty wasn't called, and the flag was picked up, and LSU takes a 14-7 lead just before halftime here at Kyle Field. And really, this game, it's only a 7-point game. It feels like a much larger margin.
And it's strength on weakness and then strength on strength. And when you talk about this ball game, that's all LSU wants to do is this. And A&M's not very good at stopping the run, whether you commit 6 guys, 7 guys, 8 guys, 9 guys, 10 guys at time, and then LSU secondary is taking control of the receivers.
So, if you're Texas A&M, you had success earlier in this game running the football. And I think you have to be able to do more of that in the second half. You got to have balance because, again, as good as this LSU secondary is, Kyle Allen, only a true freshman. If this game gets further and further out of hand, he's going to have to start making plays. And against this type of defense, I don't know if they can do that. It's important A&M comes out in the second half, establishes the run, being physical on offense.
It's important for the A&M defense, too, to come up with a stop because LSU is going to get it to start the second half.
And I think if they can run the football and just stay on the field, at least give their defense a chance to get a breather. They haven't had the chance to do that. They've already been on the field for 44 snaps.
And they only have 23 yards passing in the first half. They average almost 300 more than that per game. They average 321 yards passing per game. Tried to run it more, but it's also hard to pass it when you don't have it. And LSU's had it for almost the entire first half.
And that's not a new revelation. They're one of the best in college football, keeping the ball away from their opponent, playing ground and pound bully ball.
Speedy Noel fumbles the football. Collins tried to scoop it up, still loose. Let's see who comes up with it. Oh, Texas A&M desperately needs it, and LSU had a shot at it. LSU could add some more points if Jamal Adams is right and the Tigers have the ball. The guy who knocked it free was Deion Jones. LSU comes out of the pile with it.
If LSU has possession, they can tack on even more points.
I hear a white ball called, and it is LSU football. What a disastrous turn of events for Texas A&M.
Jalen Collins was going to walk into the end zone.
And Duke Riley ended up saving it because he recovered it. You're right, Jalen Collins had a chance to take that thing in as Noel doesn't have the football riveted to his rib cage.
Yeah, it was 35. Yeah, it was number 35, Devontae Mullion. He got his hand on that football and ripped it free. Great play on special teams, and there's just chaos in the pile. Right here, you see that ripping it out? It's a great job, and then it's just free ball.
But if Washington doesn't grab Collins right there, he's going to walk into the end zone, so he might have saved himself and his team some points.
I think that was Devin Voorhees. There were a couple of 35s out there. I think it was Voorhees that ended up stripping it free, and he made a big play and gave his team throwing it to the outside, up there and knocked free from Dupree, and a flag comes in late. Armani Watts hit him, and there could be a targeting call here. We'll see. Let's have a look at it as Dupree goes up for it. See Watts lowering his head.
Personal foul. Targeting a defenseless receiver, number 23. By rule, that player is disqualified from the contest.
Can't take a sack.
Just about to say that.
So, as you're Anthony Jennings, you cannot take a sack. It's not there. Throw it away. Do it quick, so you still have an opportunity to kick a field goal.
Watts headed off the field.
It's the same formation we saw earlier when they tried to get Durrell across the middle of the end zone on the little post.
Jennings gets rid of it back at the end zone. Tried to let Diaz climb up and grab one. 12 seconds left, 2nd and goal.
That's the same play, same exact play they ran earlier in the red zone situation where they got tackled short of the first down. Jennings that time threw it where only his guy could catch it.
Now you have 12 seconds and you have enough time if you get the ball off as quickly as they just did, but LSU's going to send the field goal unit out.
Don't understand that at all.
And rather than Delahousie, that's Trent Domingue who typically kicks off.
It's a lack of trust in your quarterback is what that is.
I think that's what that is.
Domingue puts it on the way. Right down the middle, and the fumble on the kickoff by Speedy Noyle turns into 3 bonus points. Anthony Jennings. Passing numbers pedestrian. Running numbers anything but. Almost a 100-yard first half on 8 carries for the LSU quarterback. AT&T bridges inside the headset as we head down to the field with Samantha Ponder.
Coach, obviously difficult turn of events in the second quarter. We all saw that important targeting call. What was your response to what you saw?
I didn't agree with it, so, you know, but it doesn't matter now.
Obviously a huge part of this game so far, LSU's success running the ball. What do you have to do to get this defense off the field?
Well, we've hung in there pretty well. You know, we've given up a couple big plays. Offensively, we got to stay on the field. And that's something we weren't able to do. Pop one long run for a touchdown. We got to be efficient when we have the ball.
Appreciate your time. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
All right, Sam, LSU with a 17-7 lead. It is time now to send you to the Jaguar halftime report. The Hall of Famers Mark May and Lou Holtz along with Chris Carter. Look at Leonard Fournette. Get out me way! Time for the halftime report. LSU up 17-7. LSU and Texas A&M. Tigers with a 17-7 lead, getting set to start the third quarter. The statistics dominated by LSU in the first half. The 23 passing yards for the Aggies, the fewest in the first half since 2007. This is a team averaging 321 yards per game passing. On that second quarter, LSU outgained the Aggies 168-18, outscored them 17-0, and held the ball for 11 minutes and 40 seconds.
But besides that,
yeah, it was really even second quarter. Third quarter is going to start with LSU getting the ball. And the Aggie defense, which had to deal with 45 offensive plays in the first half, needs to make this a short possession, get their offense the football, and see if they can generate a little something. David Bertolette puts a foot to it. The second half's underway. There's that man, Fournette. He thought about it and decides why not. He ran over guys the first time, tries it again, and comes up about 5 yards short of where he would have been if he'd stayed in the end zone. Samantha?
Yeah, I asked Les Miles to assess his quarterback play. He said Anthony Jennings did some good things, but he's got to throw the football better. Although he did say the interception wasn't on him, it was on the receiver. He then mentioned that Brandon Harris is very close from getting in this game. I asked him if they need to really throw the ball when the offense is running the ball so well. He said he knows this defense is going to play tighter coverage in the second half, and they're going to have to attack.
All right, Sam, we'll see how they get started. LSU will start on the ground with Terrence McGee. A whole lot of maroon shirts there to stop it.
Well, this defense's manhood is going to get tested down in the second half. After running for 223 yards in the first half, there's no mystery. LSU wants to run it. And it's been a bad run defense all year, guys. They're giving up 255 rushing yards per game against SEC competition. Guys up front getting pushed around, not filling in the gaps the way they need to. Poor tackling. These guys need to be more physical, and it's going to have to start up front. Number 50 in there, Myles Garrett. Can't be a true freshman anymore, brother. You got to grow up, man up. You're going to have to be physical.
Jennings pulls it. He had a huge first half. He's now over 100 yards rushing, and it's a first down for LSU across 35.
And this is why I don't, from Les Miles, I don't say I need to get Jennings in the game or get the backup in the game, Brandon Harris. Jennings done a heck of a job. Watch the zone read. You've seen this 30 times tonight. They don't block the defensive tackle this time and read him instead of the defensive end. Great job mixing up the play calling for Cam Cameron.
Here's Brandon Harris, freshman, highly touted. Played very well in the early part of the season. Earned a start against Auburn, but that did not go well. He was 3 of 14 for 58 yards. Jennings reassumed command of the offense. LSU's going to have to beat the play clock, and they do. A little toss to McGee, and Terrence McGee has a first down. He's into Aggie territory, and he runs right through Howard Matthews. And Matthews has to be wondering, how many of these dudes are going to keep coming at me?
Well, this time they run over to the tight end and just kind of get everything sealed over here. You're going to see that side of the ball. You got the fullback coming out of the backfield. It's Connor Neighbors, and just no A&M defenders outside wide.
You know,
get that play stopped.
That was unbalanced, and it is again right now too.
McGee finds a hole. And finally stopped. Matthews was there, got a little bit of help, but a good pickup again for McGee.
Jesse, you talked about testing the manhood. That's all this is right here. This is unbalanced. Right tackle, Gerald Hawkins. He moves over here now to tight end. More beef over there on the left side. Hey, dude, we're running it left. Do something about it.
LSU marching. Fournette. First down, and so far the early part of the third quarter is a little leftover stuffing for LSU. They are stuffing it right down A&M's throat.
And they're going right back at Myles Garrett. This time it's Dylan Gordon, the tight end, 85. Just watch this one-on-one matchup. You get a block underneath the pads. They're turning him, and then 75 gets on him. And look, he's just getting driven back, double and triple teamed. Again, this is just not his style of game right now. This guy is going to be a very special player down the road. Look, he's looking over at the bench like, hey, he's looking at Gordon. You want look at him there. He's looking at him saying, hey, dude, bring that again, see what happens.
Well,
this will be interesting.
He just brought it. He went backwards 4 yards.
Fake it to Doral. Flip out to Connor Neighbors. Neighbors cut down by Devontae Harris.
He's had a ball game. We've called his name a lot, whether he's been covering or coming up and supporting the run. Devontae Harris, he's the one guy I'd say on defense for Texas A&M that it's really had himself a nice game.
LSU about to run the 11th play of the drive in their 56th play tonight. A&M has snapped it on offense 19 times. Tigers are controlling the game. Fournette. Not much there this time. Third down coming for the Tigers.
It's one of the first times we've seen the running back have to chop his feet, make a cut before he got back to the line of scrimmage. And that's what A&M needs to do a little bit more. They got to get some penetration. They got to win some one-on-one battles up front. Those maroon shirts need to disengage from those white ones and man up. Here's
a down Anthony Jennings has been very good at tonight. Third down, finding targets, being accurate. Let's not forget his legs also. Here's a situation if I'm him. Hey, nothing's open. You can take off and go get this with your legs.
Jennings keeps. Jennings twisting at the 10. A&M stops him short of the first down. A fourth down coming. Need to get it almost to the 8-yard line. Now, if someone's defense forces a field goal, even if it's good and the field goal unit is coming on the field, it's still a two-possession game and a good enough stop for the Aggies. What would you do here? Would you go for it if you're Myles, the way you're running it, or would you go ahead and take the points?
I think I'm taking the points. I'm going to make this a 13-point game. The way my defense is playing lights out right now, continue playing field position. You know, you make this count. You just took half the clock away in the quarter, so come away with something. Pay it off.
Trent Domingue.
Domingue's been right down the middle.
Been the kickoff guy, but he's booted a couple of field goals after an early Delahousie miss, and LSU stretches its lead to 20-7. Kevin Sumlin's team trailing 20-7. We're over halfway through the third quarter, and the Aggies are about to touch the ball for the first time in the second half.
They got to make this one count. If they don't come away with points, at minimum, they have to stay on the field. Try and get tempo working for them. Kyle Allen's going to have to get into a rhythm here throwing it. They don't need to abandon the running game, but they need to be able to respond here and give their defense a break.
High short kickoff. Here's Speedy Noyle. Noyle's got room. Fumbled one earlier. Almost had a huge return. He was tripped up right at the 40, but excellent field position for the Aggies. Despite the fact that you go to the ground here, a good tough run by Trey Carson, despite the fact that they have been totally dominated. If they could take a shot, if they could make a play, it'd be a one-possession game.
Unique. Do a little bit of everything for this offense.
Cameron Clear, who's been injured a good part of this season, talented pass catching tight end, came in, but they couldn't get Beckwith blocked, and it'll be third down.
He's improved so much over the course of the year. He assumed the starting position midway through against Florida, and as every game's gone on, Kendall Beckwith is playing with better eye discipline. He's reading his keys better, just more instinctive, and he's made more plays. He's been an upgrade athletically. He's a big reason why this defense has improved so much here in the second half of the year.
Those numbers you just saw, A&M 30 yards passing, stunning. Because even with their struggles, probably with the exception of the Alabama game, they've at least put up passing yards on everybody. Need a conversion. Allen finally taking a shot, got a man out there. And making the run down the field is Boone Niederhofer.
There's the shot downfield that we were waiting for from Texas A&M offensively. And they faked that quick screen to the outside and pumped it and took that shot that you know they were going to take and came up with a big one.
Gives the Aggies a first down. And there's Trey Carson nosing his way ahead in the final half minute of the third quarter. A&M's trying to get back in the game.
You got to remember, too, Jalen Collins was a backup corner. He's really, really good, but Rashard Robinson has been suspended. He's the guy that normally plays out that side. So if there is a guy to pick on, I'd go after number 32 Collins up top here with this matchup.
He's battled consistency problems in his career, though this year has been much improved. A&M getting off one more in the third quarter. Allen firing. Noyle has it, and he will be tackled immediately by Jalen Mills. Now let's see exactly where they spotted him. It's the last play of the third quarter, and it'll be close to a first down. Quarter comes to an end. I see them change the down marker to a first down. Aggies down 13, but trying to get back in it as we head to the fourth. Kyle Field and College Station. A&M down 20-7. Let's check in with Sam real quick.
Yeah, we saw Ben Compton go down out there. He's dealing with a right ankle injury. They retaped it. He tried to run. Clearly was in a lot of pain. Told athletic trainers, I'm just going to play with it. Toughen it out, Reese.
Might as well. Sam trying to go out in style here at Kyle Field on a first and goal. Carson is spun down in the backfield. It was Rasco back there making the stop. This A&M's most productive long-term drive. Had the long touchdown run early in the game. Trey Williams, and not much sense, but trying to get back in it here. Loss of about 3 on first down, second and goal. Allen avoids a rush, sure, couldn't avoid the second one. 2 tackles for loss by Rasco on back-to-back plays.
We've seen guys up front for LSU just get better as the season's gone on. They've had really good play on the inside from Lockature and Godshaw, but Rasco, who's kind of known as a run stuffer, looking really good as a pass rusher here on this last play, and they understand how big of a possession this is. They do not want to allow a touchdown and make this a one-possession game.
On first and goal, A&M's unable to get a pass off. They ran it the first time, sacked the second time. Kyle Allen firing to the end zone, incomplete. And Reynolds earlier got a pass interference call, and he looked around hopefully. Nothing coming this time as Jalen Collins had the coverage, and the Aggies send out the field goal unit.
It was the right idea by Kyle Allen. They kind of had a double post concept to that side. I think he just needed to get rid of that football a little bit earlier. I think he may have had a score.
This will be a 34-yard attempt. Josh Lambo is perfect from inside the 40 this year, 8 for 8. And he remains so. Now 9 for 9 as so the patrons here at Aggie Land were hoping for a touchdown on that last drive, but they'll settle for the field goal and still with a chance. Down by 10. Earlier tonight, the highlight of the evening, the freshman running back from LSU, Leonard Fournette, running right over Howard Matthews. And David was very reminiscent of another power runner early in his career in the SEC.
Another freshman. Looked exactly the same run. Pretty bad dude himself.
You're going to see Fournette. He's back deep to return the kickoff from Bertolette. You're going to see the comparison of Fournette's run to one of the legends in the SEC.
My God, freshman.
And maybe the greatest running back ever to play college football. Bertolette over Fournette's head and out of the back of the end zone.
Let's go ahead and circle that game on our schedule moving forward so I can start making business decisions and help my career.
Go low.
Fournette gets across the 45. We've seen a really good rushing performance tonight. Jennings and Fournette happening. And here's Matthews explaining what happened when he was on the business end of that business decision.
And I want you to understand, I mean, that doesn't happen to number 31. I mean,
he's tough.
He puts people out. I mean, he's known as a run supporting safety that'll lay his hat on you. He just ran into the wrong truck.
LSU has a lot of trucks in that backfield. That's one of them. Terrence McGee, short gain on first down. Alonzo Williams on the stop.
You know, we've watched Anthony Jennings tonight, guys, kind of manage the game. 11 of 19. He's thrown a touchdown. He's thrown a pick. He's done extremely well running it. And that's kind of what he's been this year. He's been a game manager, not a playmaker. And it's been okay for LSU when they're running the ball well on offense and they're playing great defense. They beat teams like Florida and Kentucky and Ole Miss because they can overcome even some of the mistakes he had. Like he had 2 picks against Ole Miss. It's been in the bigger games when they needed him to make plays against Bama, Mississippi State, good defenses. They need him to be more accurate.
Jennings throwing it out for Malachi Dupree, and the freshman has it.
Like that.
And that's an example. Those are the throws he wasn't able to hit when they played the best defenses this year. You see Anthony Jennings fired up now. Cam Cameron's helped him out with play calling, throwing it on first down. And there's Malachi Dupree, the #1 receiver coming out of high school, running a good route, but a perfect throw.
As McGee gets inside the 15, David, to your point, freshmen have scored coming into the game. 18 of the 37 touchdowns LSU's offense has scored.
And that's why, guys, moving forward next year, they need to have more balance on offense. They're going to need Anthony Jennings or Brandon Harris, whoever it is playing quarterback, to make those types of throws because everyone's going to be 1 year older, more experienced, and they're going to need to be more explosive on the perimeter of the field. Les Miles coached offenses are always going to start and end with running the ball, but they got to be able to have balance, and it's incumbent on who's ever playing quarterback. If it's number 10, got to be accurate week in, week out.
Jennings slips a tackle. Anthony Jennings gets drilled by DeSazier Everett.
And Anthony Jennings has made some great decisions on the zone read. This wasn't one of them. Sometimes you're supposed to hand the ball off to the running back, and you watch this read on the outside. He's got a guy coming off the edge. He's staring at him the whole time. He has to give that football to the running back. Tries to make some positive yards out of it, but Sanders did a great job using his athleticism.
3rd and 20. A&M desperately trying to hold LSU to a field goal attempt.
They were conservative last time they got down here. You think of maybe a draw or a screen or something safe.
Just get the snap off. Jennings. I want to take a sack. He gets away from Garrett. Picks up a block. He's running way backwards and then wisely throws it away to avoid disaster.
When you get into a scramble situation like that as a quarterback, your receivers have to help you out. I think this time there's a poor job down the field. Just watch. He's scanning. Look at Malachi Dupree up here. They're just kind of, you know, they're staring back. He's looking at him. No one's working back to the sidelines. This guy come back this way. Help your quarterback out. Anthony Jennings didn't have any of that help. It was just a great job by him just throwing that football away, not taking a sack, and giving De La Houssaye his best chance of hitting this field goal. Oh, sorry, Domingo.
We're ready to switch, remember?
Trent Domingue is going to try it from 39. He's 2 for 2 tonight. And he's 2 for 3, and the Aggies get a stop. LSU has controlled this game, but they keep letting A&M hang around, and the Aggies have it back. Now, my man here, he needs for the Aggies to score a touchdown, because it's tradition here that when A&M scores, you get to kiss your date.
Well, it looks like she wants them to score too, it looked like.
And they might just do it. Trey Williams, who has a touchdown tonight, has a good run to get the Aggie drive started. Down 10, just over 9 minutes to play.
And their left side of their offensive line is the strength as well. Cedric Ogbuehi, their left tackle. Look at the athleticism, number 70, getting outside and trying to create an edge for Trey Williams.
Still not pushing the tempo, though, are they?
I thought they were going to. Allen started looking for adjustments. Josh Reynolds has it. Had a couple of receivers blocking in front of him. Jalen Mills giving him a little flip.
And one thing watching Kyle Allen, this is only his 4th start, but he's continued to improve game in, game out because he's more decisive. He makes his decisions quicker, throwing it when he decides to run, and because of that, he's earned the trust of his play caller, Jake Spavital.
Back to the ground. Williams makes a guy miss, but there are more Tigers coming, and he stretches the ball to try to minimize the damage. He's knocked down at about the 49-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
And if you're Jake Spavital, you hate that, because 2nd and 1, now you run backwards for 3 yards. And yeah, it was pretty. You made 3 people miss, but still got -3, -2.5, and now you're sitting in a harder situation. Probably getting close to 4-down territory anyway, so can still run here.
How about Ben Compton back in the game? We talked about him
Spat
being
it up,
injured. There
baby.
he is, yeah, just playing tough. Throw
Allen,
to
a
him.
little half roll. He gets rid of it, and Compton on one wheel and a taped up other one gets a 1st down for the Aggies.
Look at him, and he's playing through so much pain. You give this guy so much credit. For a guy, he's 300 pounds. He's a backup center. He can move the way he does, and he's just trying to give Texas A&M everything he's got.
It was a much-needed 1st down for the Aggies. They're not going to do a lot of dancing against this bunch.
You got to get north-south against the speed of this defense. And Brandon Williams is normally a slasher. His style is a one-cut runner. That time he was dancing around way too much. They bring in the beef with Trey Carson, number 21.
He'll get 1 cut and get north-south.
Yeah, he's not going to try
He's
to
235.
Clock rolling, plenty of time for A&M. Need to pay off this drive, throwing towards the end zone. It's up there, it's caught, it's a touchdown, spinning off. One-on-one battle. Speedy won that one.
And guys, you knew this game meant a lot to him. Being from New Orleans, familiar with a lot of players on LSU. This is a guy, freakish ability, 45-inch vertical with tremendous speed. Shows you those ups just climbing over top of Tre'Davious White.
Alley-oop.
And there's a cadet somewhere here sucking face.
That's a little graphic for late on Thanksgiving night.
He just got what he wanted.
I thought perhaps it was more like a platonic meeting of the lips, but nonetheless, we have a ball game with 6:42 left, courtesy of the New Orleans native Speedy Noyle. Under a ton of pressure in state to stay home and play for LSU, but he went right over the top of Tre'Davious White, gets the touchdown, and give for a little sugar. 20-17 LSU. After the 2nd verse of the Aggie war hymn, the fans link arms and legs and they sway back and forth. The motion replicates sawing the horns off of the varsity, the reference to Texas. On this night, TCU is taking care of that for A&M, and the Aggies are starting to take care of getting back in this ball game against LSU. Bayou Bengals have 2 missed field goals, a 22-yarder and a 39-yarder. Or they might be up, they would be up. They made them both by 2 possessions. As it is, LSU has dominated the game, but they lead by only 3. Fournette. Nowhere to run. The football came loose, and LSU jumped on it, and A&M almost had a tremendous opportunity. Ed Paris was the right man in the right spot for the Les Miles team.
Heads up play by Ed Paris. You see, he goes airborne. Fournette does. Ball gets stripped. Johnny on the spot.
Well, the big gain is wiped out for LSU. Anthony Jennings turns the corner, and he's chased out of bounds. And Jennings has had an excellent night running the football. That'll put him up close to 130 yards at 127. That's just 15 yards short of the best rushing performance ever by an LSU quarterback. Alvin Dark had 142 back in 1942.
So if I'm LSU, guys, the most of my success running has come to the left side of that offensive line. With this game on the line, that's where I'd be leaning towards. I'd be running it behind number 70, Collins, and number 74, Vidal Alexander.
The toss, an alley, a lot of running room. There goes Fournette, turning on the Jets. Can they track him down? They do. Floyd Raven saving a touchdown. But Leonard Fournette with a huge run for LSU.
Well, Jesse said run it left they do, and they bring Gerald Hawkins, their right tackle, over here again on the left side to play tight end to get more beef in their favor. And look at the push. Great job by Connor Neighbors getting up to the second level. And how about the speed by Fournette? First the patience, then the speed. We've seen the power. We've seen a little bit of everything from him tonight.
Leonard Fournette, 18 carries, 141 yards after ripping off 46. Now, this is where the A&M defense has been good, forcing LSU into field goal attempts.
Look at Jennings milking the clock.
Back to the ground. Fournette always falling forward.
But ball security is big for him right now. Of course, he fumbled on the kick return, so you're going to see two hands on the ball from the true freshman Fournette, who now is going to get a blow, and in comes Terrence McGee. LSU is going to want to bleed this clock. You see the night Fournette's had, a lot of it coming after contact, but the clock is your friend right now. Take it all the way down. If you're Anthony Jennings, you want to snap it right before it gets to 0, and obviously keep running the football if you're LSU.
Jennings checking that play clock. McGee has it, and Terrence McGee crashes down close to the 20, and he'll have a first down.
It's such an advantage when you have the depth at running back they have. And, you know, in a game like this, when you need to keep running it, you need fresh legs, you can get it. And whether it's Fournette, McGee, the other true freshman, Darrell Williams, all these guys are seasoned. They played in big games and big moments.
Especially in A&M front, too. That, look at that, hands on hips. Don't have a lot of depth. Have had some injury issues. A lot of young guys playing a lot of snaps.
McGee still on his feet. Aggies getting down right at the 20, pickup of 1.
Texas A&M not using its timeouts. I think that their ideal situation is hold LSU to a field goal, then try to keep those timeouts in your back pocket so you can go down the field, score a touchdown, and win this game.
Tigers just over 500 yards of offense. You saw Fournette on the sideline. Best night yardage-wise of his career, 146 yards, but now the clock's winding toward 3 minutes, and the Aggie crowd exhorting this defense. McGee, run out of bounds. Clock stop.
And to your point, Reese, 500 yards to 200, whatever, great. Hold them to a field goal here, go down, score a touchdown. You can have all those yards you want. Bottom line is you still win the game. This crowd's getting into it. They got one more stop.
3rd and 7 now. Run pass option for Anthony Jennings. An opportunity to get him on the perimeter, use his legs. If nothing's open downfield, at least try to run for it. If you don't get it, you get tackled in bounds. The clock still ticks.
Clock started winding again once the ball was set ready for play after the run out of bounds. Move Dixon to the other side.
This could be a draw.
Jennings sacked. Fumble, and LSU jumped on it. Devontae Burns was the one that came around from the outside, and Jennings slow to get up.
They only have 5 guys blocking, and the 6th rusher comes off the edge. This is on Jennings. He's got to understand how many he can protect. You cannot take a sack in that type of situation.
LSU is clinging to a 3-point lead, and it should have been more. Obi Delahousie missed virtually an extra point-length field goal of 22 yards. Then Trent Domingue came in. He, too, pushed one to the right. But Domingue's not going to kick this 43-yard attempt. It'll be Delahousie back. You'll recall he did nail a 50-yarder to beat Florida. But he missed his 22-yard attempt tonight. This one from 43. It'll still be a one-possession game. Delahousie on the way. And it is good. And the lead is 6.
And guys, how was that not blocked?
He went over the ball.
I think it's Devontae Harris.
It was, and he jumped over the kick.
Watch this right here. He comes clean off the edge. And I thought watching that live, he was for sure going to get a piece of that.
You're taught to dive at the ball and take it off the kicker's foot. He jumped up too high.
A near miss on the block, but the Aggies have a chance. Down 6, 2:07 to play. And Trent Domingue is going to kick off the field goal that was almost blocked and then barely made it over the crossbar. Gave LSU a 6-point lead. Tenuous hold on this game. Domingue makes sure there's no kickoff return. The Aggies will have it 75 yards away from the end zone. Let's have a look at this near miss by Devontae Harris.
And Devontae Harris is supposed to dive towards the foot and take the ball off the foot. But look at him, he dives up and out, and you can see it a little better even from the other angle. He almost dives directly diagonal or sideways. Watch him right here. You go right here to the block point, and you meet the football off the foot.
I give Delahousie credit, though, guys. He got that up in the air quick.
And look at this.
That got lift, and because it got lift, it was up and down.
It barely got lift.
It was able to clear the crossbar, barely.
It cleared it. That's all that matters.
Did it or did it not? Malcolm Kennedy. That's going to be an incomplete pass. Malcolm was juggling that almost the whole time. Jalen Collins scooped it up just in case.
Actually, LSU ran a zone that play, mixed it up a little bit. Haven't seen that much, but Malcolm is actually one of the guys on the receiving core that's actually a little bit older. He's a senior. He's got to make that catch.
Kennedy playing his final game in Kyle Field tonight. 2:01 to play. LSU trying to avoid its first 3-game losing streak under Les Miles. Allen threads the needle, and it's complete to Boone Niederhofer, his second big catch of the night. First down, Aggies.
Here's an example of Kyle Allen playing fast, making a quick decision, anticipating the throw before his receiver turns around, because again, against the best secondary in the SEC, the windows close fast.
Looking to the outside is Speedy Noyle, who had the touchdown, and Noyle wisely gets to the sideline to stop the clock.
The footballs are in the air before receivers are turning around. You're seeing great anticipation by a true freshman quarterback, making only his 4th start. These receivers right now making plays for him.
Aggies have it just on their side of the 50. Allen down the middle, dangerous throw, incomplete.
I just think it's interesting. You've seen LSU exclusively in man coverage all night. I think they feel like they've gotten beat a little bit here in the second half and have switched it up to zone. And Speedy Noyle going off and getting some confidence. I'd keep finding him because he's one of those guys you keep feeding him. Once he gets going, he makes a lot of big plays.
Allen throws down the middle, and Niederhofer couldn't hold it. 3rd down and 10.
Because it works in conjunction. And so, you know, if you're not going to get home on a quarterback, you need there to be white jerseys trailing these receivers, and that's a catch that Niederhofer needs to make. It was a good throw on his body, again, in a small window. They're going to make Kyle Allen earn this.
Corners right up on the outside receivers.
Free play.
Allen going to take a shot. Reynolds is out there. It's a jump ball. Reynolds came underneath, and it was picked off by Jalen Collins.
Is there no
Well, let's
offside?
say there was a flag. They thought that LSU might have jumped off sides. That's what Allen thought. And it's going to be an interception that'll seal the game with no flag down on the play.
Wow, that is shocking to me, guys. I thought for sure that that was offsides. Kyle Allen, Kevin Sumlin, I think everybody in this building, we've got fans looking in our booth right now in disbelief. They cannot believe this is an off. Watch this right here. There's a move, the ball snapped, that's offsides.
Well, was he in the neutral zone is the question.
Yeah,
You
absolutely was.
Well, I'm just saying, if you get a little better angle, you can, I mean, if you're off the ball a little bit, you can jump off a little bit as long as you're not in the neutral zone. If you can see down the line, see, it looked like his head was in the neutral zone. He didn't fly off the ball right away and jump off
Now,
side.
I will say this, nonetheless, Josh Reynolds had an opportunity to make this catch down the field. He's good enough to do that, and he should have. But, guys, I think that's a huge missed call that is going against Kevin Sumlin and Texas A&M.
And someone unloading on the officials.
So you go, see if he gets in this neutral zone. Here's the neutral zone.
What's that black line?
Hold on. The black line. Does he?
And it's
He's got to get in the ball.
There. The ball's snapped right now. His head's over top of that black
It sure
line.
looks like it.
That's offsides, brother.
What? That's pretty close.
He's almost touching him.
Look, there you go. Give me a little zoom. Look.
in.
That is offsides.
Wow.
And then, you know, it's just it's a terrible break that goes against Texas A&M. And
The flag should have been thrown. Maybe, I mean, by the tip of a fingertip, you know. But when we saw it up here at first, it was like, oh, he's way off sides. He wasn't way off sides, but he was off sides. A&M fans.
Jennings let a little time roll off and took the knee. And the clock continues to wind with A&M out of timeouts. For Leonard Fournette, a career-high 146 yards rushing and a memorable touchdown.
Special night. You know, I saw him when he ran 27 times for 140 yards against Florida. He kind of had his breakout performance. With the talent he has, you could envision in this style of offense down the road, he could be in the running for a Heisman Trophy. He's got that type of ability, and he's playing in the right type of offense.
And you saw it all, too. You saw make you miss, you saw power, and you saw speed. All the elements, especially for a 230-pound back. It's going to be special.
Well, LSU is going to win it 23-17 over Kevin Sumlin and Texas A&M. The Aggies are going to fall to 7-5 on the season, 3-5 in the SEC. And it was a great finish tonight. Great way to cap off Thanksgiving. Special thanks to all of our crew spending time away from their families on this Thanksgiving holiday. And what a wonderful job they did giving you this game tonight to cap off Thanksgiving. For all of us announcers, we're saying so long from College Station. LSU, a winner. SportsCenter's coming.